when it comes to the MLS Cup final. And of course, that would be the Seattle Sounders. Four of the last six MLS Cup finals, they've been in there. They've won it twice as well. So, I mean, these are perennial contenders. And now they're in the final of Concacaf Champions League, 2-2 draw on the road. Seattle Sounders have announced that already they have sold just over 61,000 tickets for that home game. I believe they had about 69,000, maybe close to 70 in that 2019 MLS Cup final against Toronto FC. But either way, I mean, this is a game that is on its way to actually breaking the record for attendance, a standalone game for this tournament. And the Sounders, as we know, can make history by becoming the first MLS team to win this title since its new format came in 2008. Ollie, should they actually be considered favorites?
Yeah, 100%. I think they've won the trophy, to be honest with you. Like, I think it would take
Wow.
I think it would take a massive upset and a massive collapse at this point for them not to win. Like, you just compare how Pumas have done away from home, the fact that we've watched them. I don't think they're a particularly special team for a Champions League finalist. And you look at what Seattle have done at Lumen Field in this tournament, and the fact that they're going to be playing in front of however many fans it is that's going to be packing that stadium out. Like, if they lose this game, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I think we might as well forget the Champions League as MLS and go home, because they're never going to win it if Seattle don't do it this year. It's just everything is set up for them. I think they should be considered massive favorites.
Anything can happen though in a game. Like you're not giving them the trophy right now. Like
I'm giving them the trophy right now.
We've seen better teams than Seattle go on and lose in a one-off game like this, which essentially what it is at 2-2. And worse teams go on to win games like this. Like Chelsea won a Champions League final parking the bus against Bayern Munich. It was just unbelievable how it plays out. So let's not hand over that Champions League trophy too soon.
Pumas on Chelsea.
I know they are. Pumas are really struggling in the league as well. I believe they're like 11th place in Liga MX right now. But we'll see. The game needs to be played. That's my point. And funny things have happened in this competition. It is crazy to think, and you spoke about how the competition's changed. Since 2010, only 4 MLS sides have made it to a CONCACAF Champions League final. And 2 of the 4 MLS sides have been Canadian. Isn't that remarkable? Like, that Montreal and Toronto have represented MLS in a Champions League final as many times as all the American teams in this league. It's crazy to think. And there's always been a different story, a different reason. TFC gave it the best go in 2018, and this is going to be the best shot since that time. And it took like a Herculean effort in that second leg down in Guadalajara for TFC to go blow to blow with Chivas before falling in penalties. So there's a real chance here. This is a really good Seattle Sounders team, but we shouldn't be surprised. They've set the bar in Major League Soccer since they've joined the league in 2009. They've never finished below 4th place in the Western Conference since they joined this league. 2 MLS Cup, 2 runners up. Like, it's unbelievable what they've accomplished. So this is the natural progression and seems like the missing link. And I think it speaks volumes to the club, the setup, everything that they've done, the fact that they put themselves in this position, no matter who they're playing in this final game. And what the success happens on the field, off the field, you being there, Andy, multiple times. It's a wonderful place to watch the game. The city's committed. They're genuinely enthusiastic towards their team. They're a near perfect MLS market that led the way in MLS 2.0, and we're at MLS 3.0 right now. And they're still the poster franchise, the poster club in all of Major League Soccer right now.
We can sit here and really dissect the two sides, right? And you can say, well, is Pumas really a representative of Liga MX? But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if Seattle ends up winning, this has to be huge for MLS, right down to where MLS feels it stands against Liga MX. We know, once again, the Leagues Cup tournament, we know that MLS is really working hard towards pitting MLS teams against Liga MX teams. We've heard it before. We've talked about it on this show, where Liga MX teams don't even want to really be in this tournament anymore because they were just winning at will. So, Ollie, I mean, the new rights deal that's coming up with MLS. I mean, there's just so many implications. I don't know which direction you want to go in talking about what this would mean for MLS for Seattle to win.
Yeah, it would be big. There's no question. I think one of the biggest things for me is finally having an MLS team at the Club World Cup would be something that like is massive. Being able to see Seattle play against a Liverpool, Manchester City, whoever it is in that competition, I think puts so many eyeballs on the league, and you know finally has MLS kind of break into the conversation of being a serious league, right? Like I think people around the world have kind of ridiculed it for so long as the retirement league, the league where stars go to make some extra money, and but basically just seeing it as like another version of the old NASL, right? And I think clearly MLS is not that anymore. It's a proper league in its own right. It has its frustrations for us for sure with some of the rules and things that are still in place, but there's real clubs developing players, playing good football, good coaches that I think is probably not getting as much recognition as it deserves around the world. So the Club World Cup is the kind of stage where, I think that can start to happen. I still think, and you mentioned it there, Andy, with the Mexican teams sometimes not even seeming to take it that seriously, that the CONCACAF Champions League, I think, has a long way to go. I know we're ahead of a reformat, and hopefully that will, really bring this competition to life in a big way. But I still think this competition has so much more potential in terms of really being the showpiece for this region, really bringing the whole region together and making the confederation more relevant. And I'm hoping that will come, as I said, with the new structure that's going to come in place. Because right now it still feels like one where the MLS teams are kind of, it's difficult for them because of the timing. The Liga MX teams maybe don't feel as tested or haven't felt as tested until now as they would like to be by their continental competition. I still think this tournament can be a lot more, and I hope that's the road we're going down, because I think it could be fantastic for this region.
Yeah, I think there's three places where Seattle win would be celebrated. I don't think that this is a national story, and that's something that MLS really craves. I just don't think it is. But I think that within its own individual city, as long as your club is a big deal, then you have something. So obviously a win for Seattle would be massive in that city. And most of the Pacific Northwest, taking out Vancouver and Portland from the equation there. It's going to be massive in New York for Major League Soccer. You're right, negotiating new rights deals, the integrity, all that stuff when it comes to Major League Soccer and their standing in the global view of the soccer community. That's where MLS absolutely cares, as well as down in Miami and CONCACAF head offices. And that's not because they favor one side over another, but in order to grow this tournament out and make sure that it's a successful expansion, you need more than just Mexican teams winning this tournament. I think that might happen organically. Liga MX has some real problems right now. This is not being a good season, both on or off the field. The standard has dropped, the crowd issues, the organizational issues. The Mexican Football Federation is not in a good place right now. And I think that this is, as much as this might be a feather in Major League Soccer's cap, I think this is a real indictment, or perhaps a very good view of where Liga MX is right now, and how not only is MLS catching up and bypassing them, but they might be left behind in their dust. And that has to be a very big concern for Mexican football right now.